Hi, Elizabeth. It's Charla.
Hey,
Hi, it's Charla-Gi again, and thank you for joining in on this podcast. A little
I'm glad to be
birdie,
here.
a little birdie told me that you have some really good news about Jeremiah. Can you share with us?
Yeah, yeah, I found out, or we found out that he is going to be able to get the days counted that he was there before, and he's only going to have to do 60 days, so he should be home in July.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
so
that's
somebody called me and told me he would be home this week. I guess you could call them staff members told me he would be home this week. And another one told him that he would be home in July. So we don't know which one it is. But it's either this week or in July.
oh my gosh, congratulations. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it took a lot of work, but we made it happen.
Yeah. So, for anybody else out there who's in a similar situation, for my blog last time, it's a lot of, there are a lot of institutions that are facing similar problems, prisons, halfway houses, I mean, any kind of cramped quarters, so shelters for unaccompanied minors, ICE detention centers, everyone is kind of dealing with the same thing. Prisoners or, the clients are hopefully getting early release like Paul Manafort. But for those of us that are not as high profile as Paul Manafort, like your husband and all the rest of us, it's a really difficult situation, especially during this recording. We're going through the coronavirus COVID-19 SARS-2 pandemic, and obviously everyone is just trying to get their loved ones back home. So, do you have any pointers? Like, what do you think worked for getting the sentence reduced? What did you guys do?
Well, me, and then, well, first of all, my husband was giving out my number to some of the other guys in there and told them, if they were interested in basically fighting back, with what they were being, how they were being done, to give their number to their loved one and have them contact me. And so I had three people contact me, and so I would do like I would email or call somebody, and then I would share that number or that email with them, and then I'm guessing they would do the same thing. Well, I know they would do the same thing, and then the guys in there were complaining. Every chance they got about, how it wasn't right. And so I guess they just got tired of hearing it and they knew that we weren't going to just sit down and shut up. So they decided to go ahead and do what they should have done in the first place.
Right.
Um, but just staying on their butts, I guess, is what made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can only obviously speak for you, but what you were sharing with me, I mean, you were keeping very detailed records of calls to everyone that you were reaching out to, everyone from his parole officer. I was amazed as to the number of times a parole officer changed. But you were keeping records for all of that, and obviously you weren't going to stop, like you said.
Yeah, no, I record because in my state, it's not illegal to record a phone conversation as long as you're a party to the conversation. So I record, and my husband did too when he was here on his phone, all the conversations that we were having with these people. So that way, if they ever come back and say, well, I didn't say that, like he was accused of saying something he didn't say, and then when he asked the lady about it, she said that she may have misheard after he told her that, he recorded the conversation. So that's what I've learned to do because I've been doing this for so long. That if they accuse you of saying something or they say, well, no, I didn't say that, you can just say, well, I know you said that because I have it on the recording. And a lot of times, if you let them know that, then they won't basically, pull you along.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really important because I don't remember the details. I don't know if you remember, but the last time that we spoke, that actually worked for you guys, where he was accused by someone in the system of saying something, but he never said it. So,
Yeah, yeah, he was. Well, the lady said that she was actually the um, a supervisor. She said that he had told somebody else that he had talked to because he had spent like 4 hours on the phone. She she said that somebody else that he had talked to told her that my husband had said that he didn't know what time he was supposed to report back, and he said he was acting like he wasn't going to show up and all this stuff. And he said, "No, ma'am, I never said that." And her response was, "Well, they have no reason to lie to me." And he said, "Well, I have the recordings. Do you want me to send them to you?" And she said, "Well, maybe I misheard."
Wow. So that took care of that.
Right? Yes, it has. So that's what you got to do. You got to record the conversation, and keep track of every. Don't erase no emails either. If
Right.
you email people, keep those emails, because sometimes they'll save you too. Because I mean, it's not like they can deny that they sent you email that has their information and their name on it.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Yeah. So, for a recap, what I'm hearing is keep detailed records, not on pencil and paper, actual records. So,
Yes.
uh, phone, audio, video, email, any kind of electronic communication. So that is also very helpful. And then to move the case forward to get him out as soon as possible, then it's just continuing to call, continuing to ask for information, calling as many people as you can. And then I think you also mentioned that you were getting together with other wives, girlfriends or partners in the same situation, trying to get their people out. And I think that really helped too, right? It was more like a group of you.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does help them because the way this is how it works. If a lot of people are complaining, it's harder to target 15 people, but it's easy to target 2 or 3 people. So the more people that are complaining, the harder it is for them to actually retaliate because, like I said, it's harder to retaliate against a whole group of people versus 2 or 3. They can punish 2 or 3 and nobody would think anything, but there's no way they could punish 15, 20 people and people not think anything of it. So that has a lot to do with it too. The more they complain, the easier it'll be to get something done.
Yeah. I guess if I'm putting myself in their shoes, then I would start to think, look, these people, there's so many, and they keep on contacting us and they're not going to stop. I know at some point it's probably going to be easier to let these guys, to give them what they want and to let these guys go so that all of this madness just kind of slows down or stops.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay, good. Well, I'm really, really happy that things are turning around for you and really so quickly. That's amazing. That's really, I mean, to get results that quickly, that's really great. So we're all just praying that he actually, hopefully is released even, in a couple of days. So that's great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Now, another communication that I had from you, something about uh, he was told that his family was enabling him as opposed to his family giving him strength, to.
Oh my God.
So what happened there?
Okay, so so when he when he was in prison, he went up for parole. In my state, they can either give you parole and maybe just let you come home, or they can like say you'll get out if you complete these classes. Okay, so that's what they told him. He had to complete these classes and then he would be able to get out. So
Okay.
he completed the classes. The classes was for 6 months. He got moved pretty much right away from where he was at to where he could take the classes. Well, while he was there, they had this thing to where you can get out after you get through the program. You can actually get out of prison and go straight home or straight to wherever you're paroling to. And you have to take you still have to finish. They call it I forgot what they call it, but it's basically an extension of the program that you did inside was out here. But it's like you're still doing that program, but you're also being a normal person. So you're working and doing all that stuff. But
Okay.
you still have to take these classes so many a week
Hmm.
for so many months. I think it's like 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Or, yeah, it's a long, it's a while. They call it aftercare. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So you can do that. Or they can make it to where you don't get straight out of prison and go to your family. You get straight out of prison and you go to a parole facility or like a halfway house. And you take classes there, which is the same classes you would take if you came straight home and went to your family, but you're at a parole facility, they are able to give you more classes in a week than you would if you came straight home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so he's at the halfway house.
Right.
Hmm.
So going to the parole facility, you actually get that aftercare is not as long.
Okay, well, I guess, well,
So
that's good. At
like
least that's
yeah,
one thing that's good.
that's one thing. It knocks off a few months of the 18 months. So
Okay.
um, but in order to come straight home to your family, you have to meet certain criteria. Some of that criteria was the, like you can't have been in trouble, like you get a charge and then it had to be so many years after that that you got another charge. Like you couldn't have two different charges within like 5 years or something like that. It was something like 10 years, something like that. That was one of the criteria. It couldn't be you couldn't have more than I think 10 years left on parole.
Uh-huh.
You had to be within a certain. You had where you were going to had to be within a certain mileage of a aftercare facility.
Oh, okay.
And then like it had a list of them. Well, he met that list. Like everything that
Oh,
all his charge and everything,
he
he met
did.
the requirements. Yes, he did. He
Okay.
met the requirements. But in order to get approved to come straight home, you have the counselor at the unit where you're at. Um, while you're in the program there at the unit, they have to. It's them and then the director that's over that program at that unit. They meet together and they talk. And what they do is they recommend it to the the prison system in this state. They recommend either they'll let you go home or they make you go to a parole facility. So they make the recommendation, but the prison system is ultimately the one that makes that determination of what they're going to make you do. But their influence has a lot to do with it. What they say has a big influence on what the prison system in this state says. Either they're going to let you go straight home or they're not.
Okay.
So they recommended, when he went to meet with them, they recommended that he has to go to a parole facility because they said that they feel, meaning the counselor and the director, they both agreed and they both feel that my husband's family, which is me and the rest of them, feel like we enable him because we give him too much help.
Oh my gosh. That was the main reason. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's the only reason. Yes, that's the only reason.
Oh,
Yep, that was the only reason. That's what they said, that they didn't feel that he should come straight home. Um, I guess, treatment because they felt like if he came straight home, we would just enable him because we're by helping him, we're enabling him to do, I guess, whatever they felt like criminal activity he was going to do.
oh my gosh.
Which is crazy. But either you don't have enough support or you do, or you have too much. So it's like, well, which one do you want?
Did you ask them for specific examples?
No, because it wasn't me that went to the meeting. It was it was just him, and then like I said, the program director at that unit, and then my husband's counselor.
Oh.
The other issue is the counselor that he had. She wasn't his counselor the whole time because the counselor he had when he first got there got let go for messing around with another inmate. So he didn't. So this lady didn't even. She wasn't his counselor the whole time he was there.
Oh, okay. So just kind of
You see what
walking
I'm
in
saying?
blind. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of walking in blind, and so for her, to me, I didn't think that was fair because how does she know? Because she wasn't there the whole time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yep, that's what he was told. And
Oh,
that's
jeez.
another issue. Before he had to go back to the parole facility, he was told, and this is another thing I have on recording, by his parole officer that he has now, that he was not able, because he was trying to get them to approve him just to stay home since he had already got out and been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that lady told him, the officer said, well, you don't, one of the requirements to be able to get that was for you to have to be within a certain amount of miles within the aftercare facility, and you don't meet that. Well, I know that's a lie because I had the paperwork that said you had the amount of miles you had to be, and I looked it up on the GPS, and we do meet that. We do meet that requirement. It's like 8 miles.
Wow, 8 miles isn't that far, but that's good that you
Well,
guys met it.
well, like No, there was 8 miles. Like it had to be like 40 or 50 miles. We was like 32, like I think 32 or 42 miles from it. So
Okay.
it was like 8 mile. Yeah, there was like an 8 mile, that he
Buffer.
had left that he couldn't let. Yeah,
Okay.
and so, but they said no. That's what she told him. He didn't need it. But like I said, no, that's a lie because I had the paperwork that had all the qualifications on it, and I
Right.
put it in the GPS, and it said that we met those qualifications. So I don't know why she was telling him that.
I mean, to me, and obviously I'm a third person, obviously biased towards you because we're friends, but um, that would be infuriating to me. You have all the facts, and then yet, you're not allowed to go forward with them. What
Well,
did you hear anything back from that, or they just like ignored you?
I didn't argue with them because I didn't. I don't think my husband realized that they had said that to him because he was so mad. It's just when I went back and I listened to the recordings on his phone from him and his parole officer because it was in the it was in like within like 15 minutes of that one lady accusing him of saying something he didn't say.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's when I realized that his actual parole officer had told him that he didn't meet the mileage qualifications
Oh,
to even
geez.
get that the ability. They have different names for it.
Okay.
It's called phase one, and then I think phase one is when you come straight home. Or I'm sorry, when you go to a facility. I'm sorry, when you go to a facility, and then phase two B is when you come straight home from the facility. And she said that we didn't meet the mileage qualifications to get phase two B.
And by then it was too late. Yeah.
Yeah, cause yeah, they said it. Then they said, well, yeah, then that's what they told him. Well, it was too late. You can only get that approved or disapproved while still in prison before you actually get out. So
Wow, they
yeah,
have an answer for everything, don't they?
yeah. Well, and see, that's a lot of the problems is because my husband's not one to just sit there. Like if they tell him something and he knows it's not right, he'll stand up for himself. Or most people, they're like, oh dang, I'm messing with the system. I better not stand up, or it's just gonna make it harder for me. Well, he's not like that on a lot of stuff. He's like, no, I know you're feeding me a bunch of crap. I know that ain't right.
Hmm.
And they
Wow.
don't like that. They don't like people. A lot of not everybody, but a lot of people that are in authority, they don't like that because that makes them look bad. When you as a criminal or somebody that has a record is telling them, about the rules and the laws and stuff, and they're like, that makes them feel some kind of way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I can somewhat identify with that because I live in South Florida with there a lot of a large Latin community, and um, although my mother is Latin, I've lived in the United States my entire life, so I'm bicultured, if you will. And
Mhm.
I know with Latin culture that they're very behind in women's rights, in the way how men treat women very disrespectfully, as just like a general rule. It seems like obviously not every man, but certainly that's certainly the case. So uh, it like for example, just to give an example, it just happened to me today because I'm not going to be this meek Latin woman just letting people walk all over me because it's not the American way. I'm a modern American woman, and people just get like really
Right.
surprised. So it was this kid in the elevator and he's on his phone and then he's surprised when he looks up that I'm walking on the elevator. I didn't, I wasn't hostile, but I'm getting on the elevator. I don't know what he's doing. He can hang out and ride the elevator all he wants. I don't really care, but I just got home from work. I need to walk the dogs. I need to do this podcast. I have things to do. So I hear him, like a coward. He's already out of the elevator. So he's out and he says, it was something derogatory and then a derogatory word. And he said, you should have waited until I get out of the elevator. And then, you know what? I told him, I called him out on it. And I told him a very derogatory name. Like, why should I wait for you? Like get off your phone and we have things to do. Like, why should I wait for you? So, I mean,
Wow.
but I mean, stuff like that happens all the time, and I think people are just surprised because they see me as like this nice girl, but then they're really surprised when that isn't the case. And this I can see, I can identify with your husband where it's like, wow, he's different, like he's standing out, and it's just,
Yep.
from both of us, probably not that I want to speak for him, but it's just our nature. you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's his nature.
Hmm.
Because it don't matter what it is, or what it is. He'll say that to anybody. That's not right. You know,
Uh-huh.
and so, yep,
Uh-huh.
he's one of those. Yeah, he stands up. And he's got a
Good.
bad habit of standing up for other people too. And he got rolled up when he was in there because he stood up. Well, this is what happened. One of the staff members tried to tell another guy that I think it was that he couldn't wear shorts or something like that to the group. It was something stupid. I think it was the shorts.
And it's like
And
hot. It's hot outside.
yeah, I'm like, that's stupid. And so my husband says, well, where does it say that in the rule book? Because it ain't in there. He said, well, the staff member said, well, I can't wear them. And he said, well, that's not my fault.
Right.
There is no rule that says that we cannot wear shorts.
Right.
And so the guy got mad and made an angry face, and so my husband walks off, and the guy flips him off because he don't see it. But the other guys that are in there is telling, hey, man, that dude flipped you off. And so he tells one of the other staff members, and they looked, and yeah, they said, yeah, he did flip you off.
Wow. That's not professional. I mean, that's abuse
Nuh-uh.
of power.
It is. It is. Like and I guess it's kind of a good thing he didn't see him flip him off because he might have would have pulled his finger off, but
Yeah.
not really. But
Yeah. Well, were other people wearing shorts?
my husband wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It was just. I guess it was just that one. I don't know. He didn't tell me how many people were. He just said that they had a guy come to group and he had shorts on, and the staff member told him, you can't be wearing shorts here, and he's like, well, where does it say that at? It wasn't even.
Oh.
So see what I'm saying? It wasn't even my husband, but he's just one of them people that if you're being done wrong, he's gonna stick up for you. You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh,
just how
okay.
he is.
Okay.
It wasn't even him, it was somebody else that, like he said, because
Mhm.
I got on to him for that, and he said, well, that dude didn't know the rules. I felt like I just couldn't sit there and let that happen. I had to say something.
Right. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Well, that's a good story. That's yeah. I mean, it shows a lot about the character, I think, of both of you, and I can see why both of you are together forever. I can
Yeah.
see I can see a lot of similarities.
Right.
So, that caused me to think, like, it's so great that your husband has you as his advocate. Family is just so critical and so strong, and sometimes it's the only thing to really turn to in a moment of crisis like this. What are your thoughts on family? Like, are you close to your family or not?
Mine, yes, I'm close. I'm really close to my family
Okay.
now. Um, like I've lived with my family almost all my life since the time that I've lived here.
Oh, okay.
I've never lived somewhere else without my family for a long period of time. Like I said, since I moved out of state, and that was what 5 years ago in January. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's the cutest story. So just to share really quickly, if you don't mind, on the podcast, that you and your sister still sit on your dad's lap.
yep, we
That's
do.
that's awesome.
We don't all
Um,
the time, but we still do. Yep.
oh, that's so cute. My sister is a mom. Unfortunately, she's too far away. She lives up in Boston, but she has two little kids. And then I told her your story and how cute that was, and she said, "Well, that's what I tell my kids." And apparently, when she was pregnant with the second one, then the little girl that was already born, obviously, she loved to sit on the lap, and she would just make room, like somehow move her little tummy over so that she could still sit there. That was really important. And then, obviously, now that both of them are in the world, then she hears them talking like, mommy said no matter what, we can always sit on her lap. And they refer to that like it's an anchor of
Yes.
their lives.
It's comforting. It's comforting. I know it was for me.
Oh, I
Growing
love
up,
that
it was
story.
comforting,
Oh, I love
and I
that story.
still, yeah, I still sit. Cause my dad's a bigger guy, so I still, like in church and stuff,
Uh-huh.
I'll still lay my head, like he'll put his arm around, like over my shoulders, and I'll still lay my head in like his arm area, cause he's like taller than me too, and and that's how I sit sometimes.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember when I was little, my dad would just be, just laying down on the bed or something. And then this is when I was a toddler, or probably obviously even younger, but I would just lay on top of him on his chest and everything. And I think I would put his chin like right on his chest, and then he would just be like, "That's a little bit uncomfortable. Can you move your head to the side or something?" But I just, I loved him so much. And then, my sister, when she joined in, then we would all be bouncing on the bed with him, like, you know, um, not to say that my mom wasn't fun, but it is a special relationship between fathers and daughters, I think.
It is.
So,
No, you're
um,
right. Yep. I did all those things with my dad too. Yeah, it makes it, to me, well, I can't really say, I was going to say, well, yeah, I guess I can. But I was going to say that it makes life easier when you have a family that you're close to.
yeah.
But I can kind of say that because I know my husband's family, they're not as close as my family is. Like,
Aw.
it's nothing for them to go a while without seeing each other. And I'm like, what? You haven't seen him in a month?
Yeah, yeah. What's wrong?
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not normal. That ain't normal to me. But I guess everybody's family is different. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just
Right,
I'm not used to that.
right. Well, I'm sure, both of you, especially, it'll certainly help when you're together, but you're going to forge a really
Right.
strong family bond, just like the one that you came from. And well, great. Well, we're definitely ending on some good news. I know that we both have another meeting to go to in a few minutes, so I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I want to thank you and first of all, apologize for my dogs because
It's okay.
they were
It
probably
happens.
barking in the back, but my dogs, not yours. And maybe next time we'll get another update and talk more about family then.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, was there anything else?
No, that's all I can think of.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being on the Charla-Gi interview podcast once again, and you're invited back whenever, anytime. So we'll be talking soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, no problem. Bye-bye.